Welcome to week 12 of Explore the Bible. We're in the 30th chapter of Deuteronomy. We're coming near the end of this book. Great chapter. Love this chapter. Great challenge in this chapter for us, no doubt. Before we dive into this passage, if you haven't already, be sure and subscribe and like. Hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up button, then give us a comment. What do you like? What did you learn? What's God telling you? What questions do you have? How are you going to teach this passage? Those kinds of things, and then share the video with somebody else. All right, be sure and check the first comment. I'm starting this new deal where I'm putting a kind of a little short summary with some questions to think about, and so all of that's AI generated, but you may like that. If you want to support our work, go to give.exposedtochrist.com. Okay, let's look. Deuteronomy chapter 30. This command that I give you today is certainly not too difficult or beyond your reach. It's not in heaven, so that you have to ask, who will go up to heaven, get it for us, and proclaim it to us so that we may follow it? And it's not across the sea, so that you have to ask, who will cross the sea, get it for us, and proclaim it to us so that we may follow it? And the message is very near you, in your mouth and in your heart, so that you may follow it. All right, this is a great chapter. When I preached this chapter in my church one time, I started it by saying, I'm pro-choice. You should see people's faces. I believe everybody ought to have the choice to choose life or death. They ought to have a choice to choose Jesus or not. I'm pro-choice. I want everybody to have that opportunity. Well, that's what this chapter is about. And here he says, I'm giving you this command. We'll see that command as we get in a little bit farther, right? And it's not too difficult. It's not beyond your reach, right? It's not in heaven. It's not up here somewhere where you have to try to, you just can't, I can't understand that, right? I can't figure it out. It's not across the sea. It's not some foreign idea. It's not some deal that is so difficult. How are we going to get there? He says, no, it's not that, right? It is near you, in your mouth, in your heart, so that you may follow it. He says it is right here. The Lord has put this opportunity right here. Listen. The opportunity to follow is right there for everybody. It's right there. It's not far away. It's not difficult. It's not complicated. It's not so challenging. He says, Jesus talks about come as a child, right? This childlike faith, this innocence, this easiness. It is not difficult to understand. It's very simple. Don't make it harder than it is. Don't make it more difficult. Don't try to make it something where people have to perform a whole bunch of stuff or whatever, or they've got to, pass a quiz or something. It's not that at all. The opportunity is right here. It's just right there for you to just take it, okay? See today. What is this choice? See today. I have set before you life and prosperity, death and adversity. Here's life. And here's death. Here's your choice. For I'm commanding you today to love the Lord your God, to walk in his ways, to keep his commands, statutes, and ordinances, so that you may live and multiply, and the Lord your God may bless you in the land you are entering to possess. He says it's not too far away. It's not way up there. It's not across the sea. It's right here. And what is this choice? This choice is life and death, right? I'm commanding you, he says, love the Lord your God. Walk in his ways. Keep his commands. Love God. Walk the way that he wants you to walk. Keep the commands that he's given you. Live your life the way it's at. Last week we talked about this, right? If you live that way, you'll be blessed. If you don't, you'll be cursed. Here he's saying, right here it is. Here's your choice, right? Right? If you do this, right, you will live and multiply, and God will bless you in the land you're entering to possess. The Israelites are about to cross into the promised land, and it is not just taking the land, it is living in the land as a follower of Yahweh. Live in the land as one who loves Yahweh, who loves the Lord your God, and will follow him and will keep his statutes, his commands, who will live the way he's called you to. This is what the opportunity that he has. He says, here it is. What are you going to do? Listen, I believe very strongly in the idea that we have to give people a choice, that they need an opportunity, but we also have to lead them to a place of making that choice. Not to just say, well, there are choices out there, and at some point in time you ought to pick one. I think we ought to say, look, today's the day. Paul writes, today's the day of salvation. This is the time. Now's the time to say yes. Don't say no. Don't wait. Today is the day to say yes. That's what Moses is saying to them. But if your heart turns away and you do not listen and you are led astray to bow and worship to other gods and serve them, I will tell you today that you will certainly perish and will not prolong your days in the land you're entering to possess across the Jordan. You see, there is a choice. You can choose to follow or you can choose to turn away, to not listen. You do not listen, to be led astray, to worship other gods and serve them. He says, listen, I'm telling you today, if you choose that, there is a choice. Everybody makes this choice. And if you choose that, right, you will not prolong your days. You will, he says, certainly perish. It's a very big opportunity for the Israelites as they face this crossing the Jordan, taking the land. He says, you follow me, I'm going to bless you and you're going to prosper over there. You're going to live. But if you don't, you're going to die. So what are you going to do? Now, I call heaven and earth as witnesses against you today that I've set before you life and death, blessing and curse. Now choose life. Choose life so that you and your descendants may live. Love the Lord your God. Obey him. Remain faithful to him. For he is your life. And he will prolong your days as you live in the land the Lord swore to give to your ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Here it is. Come to that place now. Choose life. I am pro-choice. I think everybody ought to have the opportunity, and I think everybody ought to choose life. Choose Jesus. Follow him. Follow him with your life. Give him everything that you have. He says, love the Lord your God. Obey him. Remain faithful to him. You see this, how so many times we want to try to make this into rules and all of that. And he's saying, no, it's not rules. It is love God, obey him, yes, but be faithful to him because he's life. This is where life is. This makes me think of when many of the followers of Jesus had fallen away and Jesus says, are you going to leave too? And Peter says, where would we go? For you're the only one that has the words of life. Jesus, who else would we follow? Where else would we go? Now, the Lord puts this before the people, and these hundreds of thousands of Israelites now have to make this ultimate decision. What are they going to do? Choose life. He says, Moses is beseeching them, choose life. I have set before you life and death. Now pick life. This is the decision every day. And when your church meets and your pastor gives an invitation, whether he's calling people forward or he's saying, hey, come talk to me after the service, or he's saying to them, here's your opportunity. Choose life. Pick life. Oh my goodness. Listen, friends, believing friends, when you get to that point in time in your service, boy, there ought to be a prayer that takes place right there by every believer in the room to pray that people who are in the room, who are wondering what to do, that they on that day would choose life. Choose life. Here's your opportunity. And boy, when you wake up in the morning, we'll all have this opportunity, don't we? What are we going to do today? What are we going to do today? We're going to choose death or we're going to choose life? I urge you to choose life. Hey, thanks for watching. Thanks for teaching. Appreciate those of you that are leading Sunday school, Bible study, small group, life groups, whatever y'all call them. Appreciate those of you that are doing that and that watch every week. We've just got one more Sunday left in the quarter. All right. So let's persevere to the end. Subscribe, like, comment, share with somebody else. We'll see you next week.